Scotty, I don't know what to say. I go away for a week's vacation, and you look different, man.
You know what? One extra day at the gym really makes a difference, man.
Well, I can tell that the hair, man, like.
Yeah, I think you owe me some money.
Maybe I should grow mine out then.
Could you? Is that option still on the table?
I think it would be a horseshoe, a George Costanza.
If you do that, there's $500 in it for you, just so you
Really?
know. Yeah, I'd like to see it. Yeah, I bet you $500, right?
I think it like 1,000, dude. I put 500 just in this perm.
I think it's worth it, man.
Sounds good to me. Pay up.
All right.
All right, let's do this.
Everybody, you are kicking it with the Homeboys and the Homeboys Podcast. We are extremely excited to have you today. We have a very fun topic. We are talking about getting started in investing, not just real estate investing, but investing in general for not only the youth, but we are joined here by one of the youth, our producer of the Homeboys Podcast, Mr. Bryce.
I wouldn't say youth, but, you know.
Kind of. You're younger than, like, you know, me and Scotty vicariously live through you because you're kind of like the younger version of us, you know. So it doesn't feel like, what is there, a 18-year, age difference, but there is. But anyhow, how are you?
I'm doing good. It's really weird being on this side of the camera.
I bet.
I've done podcasts before, but I'm nice and nervous. So.
Well, there's no need to be. You're much better looking than Scott Adams ever was.
I don't know, man.
But we do miss Scotty. He is on a beach in Florida with his wife this week, and we thought that this would be a good opportunity to bring Mr. Bryce, who we love dearly, onto the show, who does so much for us, and it's so refreshing to see how good he is at what he does, because Scotty and I know nothing.
And I know nothing about real estate, so I don't know. It's like perfect.
But so that kind of segues us into what we're going to be talking about. So, on our show, we're really wanting to appeal to those people that have no idea how to get invested into really any investments, and particularly real estate, because real estate is our particular area of expertise. So on this show, we're just going to talk about particularly what you perceive investing to be, and like what the next steps could be, and also to talk about all the glaring hiccups that I made, along the way, and hopefully that can help anyone who's looking to get into investing or real estate get started. But anyhow, I want to start with something that we hit on the show all the time. We do a thing on our show called More on Real Estate. That's where Scott and I, we kind of go after what we think is bad real estate advice on social media. We're not very fond of the guru-like real estate, but I would like for you to kind of, as someone younger, tell us, like, what is your perception of, a real estate investor? What are your thoughts? What's kind of your mindset of a real estate investor?
Well, I guess I'll just start with like investing in general, because I really only thought of investing as like stocks and, a savings account and stuff like that. Never really like actual, properties and value and looking at money that way. Like, it was always, like a lot of my friends did Bitcoin and, all of that type of investing, which I've never really been a part of the real estate side. Mm-hmm. It's really only been like that type of investing.
Right. So your idea of like a successful real estate investor or investor in general, is there a certain lifestyle that goes along with it? Is there, a certain mentality?
Well, I mean, before, starting to work here, I mean, kind of like the show you just brought up, it's really, I've always had an idea of real estate, investors being, flashy people driving nice cars and like mansions and, like never really the other side, like always, like it's always about money, like showing you that you have money. Like that's always been my take, but that's only because of the internet. And like, I've never really known people or even talked to people that, invested in real estate. So my take has always been what I've seen on the internet.
Well, it's kind of what inspired Scotty and I to do, everything that we're posting, because I think it's really sexy for the youth or the new investor period to see someone on there talking, about all of the success. We constantly see it on the More on Real Estate show, where you've got someone talking about this fancy car, they've got all of these homes and all of this, and it's just I think it's so superficial because it's so unrealistic. But I think for someone that's getting out of college or just recently out of college, sees that, I know that my mindset was a lot different whenever I was younger and pre-kids and everything else. I could see where that could be, appealing. So would you say that your friends would kind of share that same sentiment, you think?
Yeah, I mean, probably, because they're kind of in the same boat, like never – like don't really know a lot of people that invest in real estate. So like they only have a perception of what they see online. So, but at the same time, I don't really, like my friends haven't really talked about it like a lot. Like I have one buddy that does like stocks and crypto a lot, and he eventually wants to get into properties and stuff, but he just, well, this is like kind of an interesting thing. He thinks that he needs to save up like a lot of money before he can even start. So he's almost waiting to start investing in real estate until he has enough money. But I don't know, kind of like watching you guys, you don't really need like a crap ton of money to like, start at least at the very beginning,
But he's kind of starting out like with other investments that could lead to his savings that are going to lead to real
I
estate
believe
investing.
so, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you think that would be, popular amongst other peers?
I think maybe just because they don't know. Because I mean, that's how I like thought before. But now, like I think that you should just, if you want to do it, start as soon as possible. Like literally what Scott says is like, you never know when it's good or bad, so just buy whenever. Like
right.
So that yeah.
Scotty and I, as much as we vicariously lived through you and talked to you, about our youth and all of our, shenanigans and whatnot. It was a different time, I can't believe that it's been, I've got my 25-year high school reunion here coming up, and I mean, it goes by so fast, but, we didn't have the internet, most of our childhood. I was like one of the first classes that had the internet at Indiana University. You didn't have information in front of you, so much. So I think that was an advantage almost, because I think that people's judgment now has been clouded on what it truly is to be a successful investor and what it looks like.
It's just oversaturated too. It's just too many. Like you have to, like, it's good to have that much information because it is out there to find and it's easy to find. But then at the same time, there's so much that it's just like, which one's right? Which one do I do? And you just, so you're right. Yeah.
So anyhow, our first point in this is kind of the overall mindset of someone that is looking to get into investing. And this is something that I screwed up royally in the beginning of my career. I was only concerned about having a lot of money. I wanted to be able to, get a big house. I wanted to drive a fancy car. And I did those things to a certain extent, not to the extent that you see these gurus, going through. But, I hit a crossroads in my life in my early 30s where I realized that there's much more to life than the flash and jewelry and cars and all that. And I learned that's not who I was. I mean, I'm a small town guy from Southern Indiana. So my point on this show is to teach people that these douchebags that are out there driving Bentleys and in private jets, and they're telling you to drain your 401k to invest in real estate and take all the home equity out of your house. It's bogus.
Right.
That's not the way of the world. We're teaching, security. For me, I've gotten to the point where I truly just don't care about money, and I don't care. And people say, well, that's easy for you to say because you have it. Yeah, maybe, I don't know, but I drive an old car. My kids are 3 and 5. I know I'm old for having such young kids, but their colleges are already paid for. I've already got their weddings set aside. They're 3 and 5 years old. My house, I'm building a house here pretty soon. I'm paying cash for it. All these gurus would tell you that I'm an absolute idiot for doing that. But it's a sense of security. So my first point would be really, really take a look at what the mindset is going in. It's not the flash is not really relevant, and I would say can lead you to disaster. I think that there's many more real estate investors that are going to get hurt by watching these dumbass gurus out there, preaching this bad advice and actually succeed.
Is it beneficial to them? I just don't know if they're they genuinely think that's how it works. Cause I don't know, like you guys have said, it's working because the market's working in their favor right now. But when the market's not working in their favor, a lot of this stuff isn't going to work.
You're listening, man. You're listening.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying, man. It's important stuff.
But an elevator ride up in the market, you're exactly right. It hides a lot of stupid decisions.
Right.
It hides a lot. So, what is the benefit for a lot of these gurus? I listened to a guy this morning while I was getting ready, because you've really got me into TikTok now. Our TikTok account has gone viral.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Pretty stoked about that, and you've done all that. We're very
we've done all that. We've done all
you've been amazing in that. But now I've been watching TikTok, and there's this guy on there that he is telling everybody that if you have a 401k, you're an idiot. That you need to drain any Roth IRA that you have. If you have any equity in your home, you need to pull all of that out. And my guess is, then he says, well, I'm doing a private event coming up in 2 weeks. Make sure you click this link in the bio, and I'll show you my 12 steps to becoming a multi-millionaire in real estate. It's just so ridiculous. But he's using that because there's lots of people out there that have 401ks. There's lots of people that have retirement accounts. There's lots of people, especially with this elevator ride up, that have equity in their home. And he's using that as a way to get paid for his university, or he's selling them a house, or I don't know. I don't know what this guy's trying to sell them.
Courses.
Correct. And he knows that a great way to get paid is these people look at it as that money's just sitting there. I might as well just go ahead and put it, into something that's going to make me more money.
Right.
We saw it during one of the last presidential elections. Donald Trump was in a lot of heat over Trump University that he didn't know really anything about, but some other company was using his name and Trump was getting paid for it, and everyone said it was bogus. And I'm not saying anything bad against Donald Trump. I'm just saying that came up during the election. This is the same thing. I mean, they know that they can get paid, this way. And I know people that have went to these seminars, and they're not cheap. I mean, some of them $20,000. So
I guess that makes sense, yeah.
But it's the overall mindset, and what you see on TikTok and Facebook and some of these social media platforms. I don't think it is the message that you need to be hearing. We want to preach financial security. Mainly for us, we do it through real estate, and we want to teach you from our experiences, and that all that flash, all that crap is not what we're teaching. So let's get into our next point, which is just investing in general, not necessarily investing in real estate, but investing in general. You've already kind of talked about that a little bit. you've got some friends dabbling in crypto and, you know, some other things.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like other things that would be considered an investment. Like literally growing up, that's all I can think about is like the stock market and like a savings account or something like that just gains interest, you know, not like real estate or like an actual something, you know. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Well, crypto is kind of the thing, I feel like, for your generation now.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
It seems like I talk to a lot of young people that are into crypto. I'm too stupid to know,
Same.
you know, really about crypto.
I tried.
So I've kind of stayed out of it because I like investing in stuff that I know. But you know, if you go backwards to whenever I was getting out of college, that was when online stock trading platforms just took off.
Really?
So like E-Trade, Ameritrade. You know, Charles Schwab, you know, had one. E-Trade was huge. I mean, everyone was like, it was popular for kids like my age to open up E-Trade accounts because you could open up anything and you go buy one, you know, share of Nike for $54 or whatever. And, you know, you had it. I thought that was pretty cool to be coming out of that time because historically, you know, you go back to the 80s and 90s, you'd had to have a stockbroker. You called them, then they, you know, it was like this
Wasn't as easy at all.
It was a click, you know, for my generation. That was kind of the big thing. That's become the norm now. Now crypto is kind of the big thing. It seems like the youth kind of adopt a lot of the new sexy things.
Probably just because it's on your phone. It's really easy.
Right.
Like,
but are you seeing you know, people in their 20s? I mean, I know you're seeing them get into crypto. Are you seeing them opening up like brokerage accounts, things like that?
I mean,
the answer can be no, Bryce.
Maybe if I had smarter friends, but I just don't think. No,
hey, sometimes the smarter friends aren't as much fun, you know. Like,
yeah, true, very true.
You know?
Well, I mean,
everyone used to say you stay away from that Wetherill kid. He just likes to sit around and drink Busch Light. You know?
Look how he turned out.
Right, I don't know. We'll see.
I can only really think of one friend that, I mean, he's a financial advisor, so he would have. I'm sure he has accounts that I just don't even know about because he would be the only one that would take advantage of that or has, but just since I don't know anything about it, like I just don't we just don't really talk about it. Like it's just not something that it could be different for other people my age, but I think just
no. I'm glad you said that because like I worry that our younger generation is just simply not investing.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I mean. I'm not saying that my generation was huge into investing, but I think that it was at the forefront of our thinking anyway. A lot of people that that graduated college like you did or like I did, or anyone in general. I shouldn't just alienate people from college,
right.
But when you're taking courses that talk about finance and management and stuff like that stuff kind of comes up.
Right. So yeah.
So my advice, this is kind of our second point of this podcast as far as investing goes, is get involved. You're going to listen to gurus tell you about how awful 401ks are or how awful opening up a traditional IRA is. I couldn't disagree more. I started whenever I was first self-employed in real estate as just a one person. I had a SEP. IRA, and it grew, and then Scotty and I, we opened up a company 401k, and we max out our 401k every year. We have a profit sharing plan. We do as much as we can to put in our 401k, and my 401k is fat.
And that's the thing that I have always been taught about is like 401k, start as soon as you can, like just start putting money away early. So that is, I guess, one thing that like me and my friends do know about, agree, like that's good. Like that's not bad. Like that's something you want to do. So.
But it's amazing how many people, and people that have huge followings on the internet that say that, man, you're an idiot for doing that. I just disagree. I mean, it's there for me.
So they're saying to use that money for other stuff instead, like put it in the stock market and that goes back to kind of, the overall mindset that I feel like
playing with your retirement funds, playing with the equity in your home, playing with, disposable cash that should be saved, it creates a careless mind. And when you create a careless mind, stupid stuff starts happening. You start making bad decisions. And I think that it's all about being dedicated to saving. My 401k it's part of my retirement plan, but it's not even that huge of a part of it. I just know it's there, and the money goes into it. And we have a financial advisor that me and Scott use the same guy, and a lot of our employees do. He kind of runs the show on that, and I'm a huge believer in the 401k. So I think that is a great place to get started. I also think that, you go back to 20 years ago whenever we were all opening up E-Trade accounts and playing with it. I don't think that that's necessarily a bad idea either. However, the stock market has gotten so much more cyclical, and I think it's important for people to understand, and that's why real estate has always been an amazing vehicle for Scotty and I, is, in 2007, 8, and 9, we watched the stock market lose 65% of its value. Yes, it comes back over time, but, sometimes that's hard for people to stomach, and then people make bad decisions based off of that. We saw it during the pandemic. It shot down like crazy, and now it's come back. That there are risks, but generally, long term in the stock market, yes, you will be safe over time. That's not to say that you can dump a bunch in, and then World War III happens tomorrow, and then you've lost 3/4 of everything you put in.
Right.
Could happen, but could rebound. So. Getting into our third point, and the point that we drive home the most on the Homeboys, what about real estate? So have you seen any – let's talk home ownership.
Yeah.
Has anyone in your circle – what do they say about home ownership? I mean, is renting the only vehicle that they're looking to get into?
I have one of my buddies that's trying to move in with his girlfriend. He's trying to buy a house, but he's having the issue where he's just getting outbidded every single time.
It's hard.
But it's just so happens that he's trying to buy a house right now where it's just, crazy. So, but I think that's because – I'm 25, so we really weren't in our life, like at a point in our lives for any of my friends to want to buy a house. So, I mean, when we were in early 20s, maybe when the market wasn't crazy.
Well, I mean, that's a big factor, because I bought my first house, I think I was 23 or 4, to live in. But at that time for us, foreclosures were everywhere.
So it was real easy.
So I was buying foreclosures. I was telling my friends to buy. I was representing my friends and buying foreclosed houses.
That sounds awesome.
We were all making money, from the time that we bought it, basically. But, it's so much different. So I know that's hard, which probably makes real estate investing, equally as hard as far as rentals and things. Right.
But I mean, I think, out of my friends, he's the only one that is looking at buying. But then, everyone else renting. And mostly apartments. I can't even really. I have one other buddy, but he bought a house 2 or 3 years ago, so that falls into the. He got it before
it went just absolutely haywire.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about Peyton, but I don't know. I guess before working here, I've always thought of the stock market and crypto, kind of gambling. Mm-hmm. So the money that you're putting in, expect to lose it. Every time I go to a casino, and I haven't gone a lot, but every time I go, I tell myself if I'm going to probably lose this money, and I have always lost the money. I've never been up in a casino, but working here, it almost seems like real estate investing is like gambling, but there's not really a big risk.
If you do it properly,
right,
and if you're in it for the long term, and that's what Scott and I, preach. We're in it for the long term. It's amazing what 10 years of good decisions can lead to.
Right, but people don't want to wait that long. That's
correct.
The problem.
It's hard.
It is hard, yeah.
So getting into real estate is a little bit more tricky right now. I do think that one, you have to have the right mindset and, lose that guru mentality
Get
and
rich quick.
forget about like driving up in a McLaren. Two, investing, getting started early. I believe in retirement savings. Scott believes in retirement savings. Third, getting into real estate. Get into real estate when you can. I mean, it is hard to do. You have to, save money. There's some down payment that you need, depending on, the product that you're getting into, 5 to 20%. So it's important to start saving. But when you are getting into real estate investing, be patient. Go slow. If there's not a deal out there, don't buy. Crunch the numbers. Don't get emotional. When the right deal is there, pull the trigger. And it's, if you do that, it's amazing the financial stability that a person can have. So anyhow, I know that's we're getting close to the end of our time. Mm-hmm. It's been awesome having you on here.
Yeah, I really enjoyed being on here. It was cool.
It's wild, huh?
Yeah, like I said, it's
behind the camera most of the time out here.
I'm like in a dream right now or something. I don't know what's going on.
Well, Mr. Bryce, and that's what my kids call Bryce. So it's funny. I call him Mr. Bryce, but he's we're very honored to have you on the show. He's awesome around the office. Here, everyone loves him, and we're learning a lot from him as well. So we appreciate you having you on the show.
Thank you so much.
But anyhow, that is our show for this week. Please continue to watch our podcast and watch episodes of More on Real Estate, where we break down these gurus also. Until next time, everyone, happy investing. You look different, man. What's up?
I've been working out a little bit.
I can tell.
Yeah.
The whole $500 bet thing, is that?
Oh, yeah.
You grew the hair out.
Yeah, you owe me some money, dude.
$500.
I think it should be $1,000, honestly.
I'll tell you what, the locks look pretty good.
It's a perm.
I think I'm ready to pay up.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's do this
You want to do a podcast now?
Let's do it.